Season 8 is here and 2K drops some new dribble moves for us. In this video, I'm gonna test them out and let you know what's good and what's not. I'm also gonna show what the best dribble moves are for all guard builds. So if you're below the 6'5" threshold or above, I'll have the best dribble moves for you. And yes, the best dribble moves on next gen are also the best dribble moves on current gen. I get asked that a lot during stream, but yes, they are the same. Hey, but before we get into the dribble moves, tell me what you think about the new Season 8 rewards. I'm kind of salty that I grinded to level 40 to get mascots just to be able to get them at level 30 this season. But it's whatever. Comment a W or L if you like or dislike the new Season 8 rewards. Since this is the dribble moves video, I thought I'd show what settings I'm using. I feel like a lot of people have problems with their settings. I don't know why, because the default settings that the game gives you should be what you should be using. But my pro stick function is on default, my pro stick orientation is on absolute, and my off ball offensive mode is on absolute as well. So whether you're dribbling, shooting, or whatever, these should be what you need. Unless you shoot the right stick, and that's something else. I don't know those settings if you shoot the right stick. But if you're shooting with the square or X button and you want to dribble with your right stick, these are the settings you should be using right here. Now onto my playmaking badges. Right here, I'm on my 6'1" and I'm on next gen, so it's a little bit different. But if you see any badge that is gold or Hall of Fame, those are the badges I recommend you use. You really don't need killer combos. I'm only using this because it's my 6'1" and I have a lot of playmaking badges. But you definitely want to have on clamp breaker, handles for days, quick first step, and unpluggable if you're a guard. Those are the main badges you want to have on. Killer combos is just extra. And then also if you ISO, you want to have on bailout. Unless you're on the ones, have on bailout. And I recommend using that on bronze. Right now I have it on silver just because I have the extra badges, but you can put that on bronze and you'll be perfectly fine. The needle is also a good badge, and the rest of these, I don't feel like you really need them, so you don't have to worry about them. All right, before we get into these dribble moves, make sure you hit that like button and sub up if you're new. For our dribble style, this season they did add Trae Young, and I don't know why I couldn't get it. It wasn't in the store for me, but you need a 92 speed with ball, and that's probably why I didn't see it, because there's no way I'm using a dribble style that needs a 92 speed with ball when we have Michael Jordan dribble style, which is the best in the game. So we're just gonna know that Trae Young dribble style, unless you wanna make a build that has a 92 speed with ball, or if you already have a build that has a 92 speed with ball and you wanna try it out, then go for it. But Michael Jordan is definitely the best in the game, and all you need is a 75. And if you made your build wrong, you cannot get a 75 speed with ball, you can go with Joel Embiid, which you need a 65 to get that, or you can go with pro, and there's no requirement for pro. Pro is pretty decent. And then for my builds that are 6'10" and up, if you wanna dribble, you can go with Gabby Williams. Gabby Williams is also good. But like I said earlier, none of them come close to Michael Jordan. This is by far the best in the game. So whether you're under that 6'5" threshold or above that 6'5" threshold, I recommend using Michael Jordan if you can get 75 speed with ball. All right, moving on to our signature size up, and the first one that they added was Devontae Graham. This right here is trash. Do not use this. I don't think it's in the top 10 of signature size ups in this game, so don't go with that. Devontae Graham is trash. Don't even worry about it. I'll put some clips up for y'all so y'all can see it, but it's not good at all. And also, Candace Parker is also trash as well. It's not very competitive. Like, you're gonna get boxed if you're using this. It's very slow. Both of these are very slow. There's not a lot of combos you can do out of them, and I do not recommend using either one of those. But for my small guards, I recommend use Steve Francis. That's it. And you see for the requirements, ball handle of an 85 and height under 6'5". So if you're under 6'5", you should be using Steve Francis. No questions asked. This is by far the best signature size up for anybody under that 6'5" height. For my tall builds, you got a little bit more to work with. So De'Aaron Fox is very, very good for tall builds. I use this all of season 7. I switched to it in season 7 from using Tracy McGrady, and it has not let me down. I think De'Aaron Fox is probably the best one for tall builds. And as you can see, any height under 6'10" can use this with the 80 ball handle. Another good one is Tracy McGrady. Like I said, I've used this the majority of NBA 2K23 when the game first came out on next gen. And all you need is a ball handle of an 85, and you have to be under 6'10". So Tracy McGrady is very good. And also I used Dwayne Wade for a good amount of time, and all you need to have is an 80 ball handle and a height under 6'10". But if it was me and you asked me what you should put on for my small guards, like I said, use Steve Francis. And for my tall guards, I say use De'Aaron Fox or Tracy McGrady. Go one of those. Moving on to our size up escape package, they did add Allen Iverson. This is not very good. I mean, it's decent, but if these other size up escape packages that I'm going to mention later on weren't in the game, I mean, you can use it. It's not a top dog. It's not competitive. It's not the go-to. You have way better animation you can use other than Allen Iverson, so I do not recommend using that. For my small guards, I recommend you use Trae Young. Trae Young gives you the best animations, and as you can see, the height requirement is to be under 6'10", but a lot of taller builds don't have that 92 ball handle, so that's why I say small guards, because majority of your small guards are going to have a 92 ball handle, and your tall builds are going to have like an 85 to 87, so you're not going to be able to get that. But if you have a build that's under 6'10" with a 92 ball handle, use Trae Young. Is pretty good. For my bigger guards, you have a little bit more options to go with. I recommend going with Kemba Walker. That's a very good one. I got put onto that late in season 7. I was kind of sleeping on it, but it is very good. It's very effective. Good crab, good misdirection, good step back. Very good package to use. You can also go with Kevin Durant. That's what I use all of season 7. Kevin Durant is by far one of my favorites. Paul George is also good, but I don't like to hop back on Paul George, so that's why I don't use it. Steph Curry is another good one for my small builds, but it takes takes a lot of stamina when you do the curry slide, so that's why I don't use it, because your stamina bar goes down like halfway when you do that curry slide. So that's why I say do not put that on and use Trae Young if you're a smaller build. LeBron James is also a good cheesy one. It has a good misdirection, a good hop back, a very, very explosive hop back that gets a lot of space. So that's why a lot of people use LeBron James. John Wall is very good. It has a very good misdirection behind the back. Has a pretty decent crab. Just the hop back is kind of slow, so that's why I don't use it. But if you're a tall build, I recommend you use Kemba Walker or Kevin Durant. Those are my favorite ones to go with. And as I said earlier, if you were smaller, you have that 92 ball handle, use Trae Young. Now on top moving crossovers, they did add Kawhi Leonard. It's not all that. It's not nothing special. I don't know why they added Kawhi Leonard's moving crossover. I feel like when they add dribble moves, they should add people who are good dribblers in the league, not just random people. Kawhi Leonard is pretty slow, it's not very good, and it doesn't have a good attack crossover. And that's what people usually use the moving crossover for, is that explosive attack crossover. And for that move, I recommend you use James Harden or Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, you can do a lot of glitchy moves. I don't know if y'all watch Cizo videos, but Cizo does a lot of glitchy combos out of the Russell Westbrook. I don't like it because I feel like I get bumped a lot, but it is glitchy. You can get a lot of crabs with this as well. You can put this into combos and use it very effectively, but every time I do it, I get bumped, so I don't use it. I've been using James Harden. This is my favorite one, so I recommend going James Harden or Russell Westbrook. One of those two would be good. On top moving behind the back, they did add Andrew Wiggins. It is not good at all. Like I said, I don't know why they add people who aren't dribblers in the league, so don't worry about that new Andrew Wiggins behind the back. It's not good. If you are a shorter guard, I recommend going with Damian Lillard. It's very explosive. You need a 90 ball handle and you have to be under 6'10". So like I said earlier, if you have a build that's under 6'10" with a high ball handle, you can use Damian Lillard. It's very good, very effective, very explosive. But for my bigger guards, I recommend going with Pro or Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is more like a slower Damian Lillard. That's why I don't use it, because it's kind of it gives you that same explosive behind the back, but it's a lot slower, so that's why I don't use it. I use Pro because Pro's a lot faster, as you can see in the clips right there, the little animation. Pro's a lot faster. It's more explosive. It gives you a faster, quick first step, all that good stuff. So that's why I use Pro on my bigger guards, and then on my smaller guards, I either use Pro or I use Damian Lillard. And for Pro, all you need is a 75 ball handle, and most of us should have that. Onto our moving spins, they added Anthony Davis. It's all right. It's not bad looking. It's not bad at all. Like, a lot of these moving spins aren't bad. They just aren't as effective as basic. So basic is the cheesy spin back that y'all see everybody using, doing the basic spin back into the Luka step back. It is very, very glitchy. It gets you open 9 out of 10 times. This move's gonna get you open if you do it the right time. There's no argument when it comes to moving spins. If you're not using basic, I don't know what's wrong with you. Throw on basic, whether you're a tall build or a short, but you wanna have on basic moving spin. Now to our moving hesitation. They did not add anything. I didn't see anything in the store for moving hesitation, but I don't really do this move a lot, but I've heard people using different stuff like Rondo and Zach LaVine. I don't really do this move. I just throw on Pro and that's it. But if you like to use this move, if you know some moving hesitations that are good, comment them down below in the comment section that people should be using. I'm not a fan of this move. I don't really use it this year, so I just put on Pro. Now on top moving step backs, I didn't see any new ones in the store, but there's only 2 that you should be using. That is normal and Luka Doncic. So normal, I recommend using on the 3s and 5v5 Pro-Am. If you are a smaller guard, if you're running a point, if you have a 6'1" or something like that, you can use this for the Osta slide. Everybody can get the Osta slide. It's not a requirement for it. You can have a center and do the Osta slide, so everybody can get it. It's a very good glitchy move, and it gets a lot of crabs, a lot of speed boosters out of it. But if you're on the 2s or 1s, I recommend using Luka. So for Luka, all you need is a ball handle of 80, and this is very glitchy on the 1s and 2s, even on the 3s. When you do a basic spin back like we just talked about into a Luka step back, there's so many options you have off of that. You can drive, you can shoot, you can do crazy amount of different things off that Luka step back. So that's why Luka is my favorite. But when I'm running on the 3s or the 5s, I throw on normal sometimes just to get that Osta slide, but you really don't need to have it on. Luka is probably the most effective one in the game, so I recommend going with Luka. Whether you're tall or short, you can go Luka or normal. Both of those are good. Those are the best dribble moves in season 8, but click this video on the screen if you want a dribble tutorial to show you the best ways to use these moves.